Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about the entire market. Obviously, yes, we're going to be focusing on XRP as well, but we definitely have to talk about Bitcoin. We have to talk about the rest of the market and what's going to lead XRP to really kind of move in value heavily as well. So, with that being said, I hope everybody's having a beautiful day. I hope everybody's having a beautiful night wherever you guys are out there. It has been definitely an interesting time in the overall market. We have been focused on a few things happening around Bitcoin, around XRP, around altcoins. And everyone right now is a little bit uncertain, right? They don't know what's going to be happening next. They don't know if we are going to go into World War III and if the markets are going to implode, right? Because if we do go to World War III, well, do the charts even matter, right? And I just think that there's so much uncertainty out there, and I think that we're really kind of fighting things that we don't know. It's kind of similar going all the way back to March 2020, right? Everyone thought that the market was going to be dead. They didn't know what was going to happen next. And ultimately speaking, those are the times where, it's so uncertain. There's so much fear. There's so much, panic. And it's typically the best time to be focused up and be a part of the journey and really kind of realize where we are at right now, not only, cyclical wise, but even in terms of the liquidity cycle as well. We are about 48 hours away from the Bitcoin halving, which is something very significant because everyone really kind of puts a lot of weight on the event, but it is a big nothing event in my opinion. But what happens after that is typically altcoins go on a massive run. There was a great post made over on X actually, and it is a chart that has been circulating around for a little bit of time. And ultimately speaking, it's a comparison going all the way back to 2015 into 2016, leading into the 2017-2018 bull market. And then we also have this accumulation phase into the 2020 and 2021 cycle. And we are also in the same exact pattern right now in 2024. But the big question is, do we run all the way into 2025? Because like I've said, I do think that we are going to top out probably around the same exact time as like the end of 2024 into possibly Q1 of 2025. I do think that we front run the typical 4-year cycle, but I could be wrong, right? But regardless, I do think that we are about to wake up in a very large way in the overall market, which I have been really kind of alluring to in recent videos. Because if you look at Bitcoin, if you look at the rest of the market, it seems as though we're just kind of in this calm now. We already had the big sell off, we already had a big panic in the market, and now we're kind of in the calm of it. But I always say, what is the possibility of us going lower? And Bitcoin does have a possibility of going lower. I've talked about it and I've been addressing it, which we'll talk about here in a second, and we'll kind of analyze that. But before we jump into everything, I just want to let you guys know that yes, DCENT Wallet right now, $50 off on the single pack, $129 on the double pack. This is the best time to make sure that you have a cold storage device that you could store your crypto on and you could sleep soundly knowing that it is protected on a cold storage device. In my opinion, I don't just go with the single pack, I go with the double pack all day long because the second wallet's basically $80 and you can diversify your holdings onto each individual wallet and make sure that even if one of those wallets get compromised somehow, some way, the other wallet is safe and you have some money on that second wallet. So if you guys do want to go check this out, again, you guys are more than welcome to. It's an affiliate deal. I always shoot it straight. Guys, I get paid through these links, but this is a wallet that I utilize. I know so many people that utilize it. Friends, family, you name it. This is a wallet that I know that I can trust, that I know that you guys can trust as well. I don't come on here and I don't promote anything. I promote products that are solid, that provide benefits and value to those that are going to purchase. And the best part about it is that if you do purchase through my link, not only do I get paid, but it's also the best discount possible because if you go to their website and you go to the typical pages, these wallets are much more expensive than what you are seeing on the screen now. So if you guys do want to go check it out, you guys are more than welcome to down in the description below as well as the comments below. And with that being said, let's dive on in. So I put out a post today on X, and basically what I said was very interesting price action over the last 24 hours. Bitcoin is now ranging on support while the market sentiment is basically dead. I have been noticing more and more negativity on my timeline. A move in the market is brewing, and as long as we hold support, I am expecting a move to the upside. Only time will tell, but the sentiment continues to become more negative as we range on. Let's see what happens leading into the weekly close. Now, this is what Bitcoin looks like currently. We are ranging in that demand zone, that initial demand zone. And what I'm expecting is us to possibly range here before that big move to the upside. Now, is there a possibility that we break that lower support, 61K, and we start a downtrend into this next demand zone before the big move? Yes, it is a possibility, but it's not a guarantee and it's not a certain thing. It is something that is a possibility. The big warning sign will be us losing 61K, but so far, ever since going back to going back to April 13th, we have just been ranging here. And on the weekly chart, this is what we look like. Currently maintaining the 10 weekly EMA, and we are still ranging between the resistance zone. I'm watching this weekly candle close closely because I do think that if we can regain some momentum above 67K, that things are going to change very, very fast. We will target 74K, and then from there, we really kind of target higher. Now, what is the big signs that Bitcoin is about to move heavy in the market? Well, let's talk about it. So first and foremost, we just got this mainstream media headline from JP Morgan. They are warning now of downside risk in crypto markets. Very interesting, because let me take you guys back to 2020. All right. Here's the first article that we got, December 22nd, 2020. JP Morgan warns of Bitcoin correction, describing Bitcoin as overbought. Guys, this was December 22nd, 2020. Let's go back to December 22nd, 2020, right before the big moves in the market. So, where is December 22nd? Here we have it right here. In fact, it's kind of funny because we didn't really move to the downside at all. In fact, we only went up from that date. Here we have the date of an announcement of JP Morgan saying that there's risk in crypto and Bitcoin. Bitcoin's overbought, mind you. Bitcoin continues to rally 87% before having a nice pullback down to about roughly 28.9K after it hit $42,000. And then from there, it only went higher. In fact, overall, Bitcoin went up almost 200% from the date that they pushed that article. Then we also got this one, April 6th, 2020. JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon says he is expecting a bad recession. Again, April 6th. This is after the March of 2020 crash. Let's go all the way back to April 6th on this chart. So let's actually go all the way back here. And where is April 6th? Here we go. Again, pretty much the bottom on Bitcoin. From there, guess what we saw? We saw Bitcoin. And again, this is kind of comical, but this is just how ridiculous these mainstream media headlines are. 862% gain on Bitcoin from the date of that article. And then last but not least, we have July 18th, 2020, Jamie Dimon's warning for the US economy. Nobody knows what comes next. Again, all of this uncertainty, all of this fearfulness in the market, and guess what ends up happening? Like I said, July 18th. Let's go back to July 18th. Again, most of the market already having a massive surge. Again, marking the bottom on this chart. Bitcoin rallies 36%, sells off a little bit, continues to rally massively. And again, these are lagging indicators. We could very well range a little bit before the next big move. But the ultimate thing that I'm looking at here is, all right, well, if Bitcoin is bottomed here, the big move next is going to be pretty significant. And even outside of all of this, remember that we just got a Bitcoin ETF approval in Hong Kong. Billboard ads are already being unleashed, and we have huge. And this is from Box Mining. Check out the video real quick. It's about a 26-second clip. Focus on it real quick.
A lot of you guys have been asking about Bitcoin ETFs in Hong Kong. Well, check this out. There's a giant Bitcoin ad right now talking about the ETF that's imminent in Hong Kong. There's definitely a lot of attention going on here because at the end of the day, when these ETFs launch, they need people to buy, right? So more and more ads, more and more attention, and Hong Kong's trying to push itself to be the center of Web3. So in this financial hub with so many people, we're gonna see more of this. A lot of you guys have
But it's not just Bitcoin, right? It's a Ethereum ETF as well. But what's interesting about this is that this just got approved on the 14th, I believe. I think it was or actually, no, it was the morning of the 15th. Sorry. So this is January 11th when we got the BlackRock ETF launch, right? If we go back to January 11th, we had a major sell off. In fact, we spiked up. It caused a topping point in the market, and then we sold off about 21.26%. And then that marked the bottom, and Bitcoin rallied about 91.5% going forward. Currently speaking, we already had a nice 16.7% correction on Bitcoin already. And if you're going back to the top in March, then Bitcoin already had a sell-off of about roughly 17%. So technically speaking, Bitcoin already had that big sell-off. And if we go from the announcement date, again, I said that we got it announced right at resistance. In fact, it was right at the time that we were trying to flip that trend line, getting back into that upper trend, which we have been waiting for. We've been watching it closely. Right now, Bitcoin is actually trying to flip significant resistance yet again. We need to watch this closely because, again, as we do range in the support zone, we still need to flip a few levels before we get ahead of ourselves. But this already had a 7.82% pullback in it. We could still pull back a little bit more into the halving. Again, 48 hours away, but we already had that nice move from the initial BlackRock ETF approval, 91.5%. If we are going to go 91.5% roughly from this level that we're at currently, let me try to get like 91.5. There we have it. So we're talking about roughly $117,000 on Bitcoin. I've already told you guys, I do think that the top on Bitcoin is anywhere between roughly, 80 to 100K. Now, do we need to top at 80K? Do we need to top at 100K? No, we don't. But I'm just saying, like, that's my conservative level on Bitcoin because $100,000 is such a big psychological level. Now, in my opinion, yeah, we could run to 120, we could run to $150,000. It doesn't matter to me. Really, what I'm really looking at with Bitcoin is the higher that Bitcoin goes, the higher that our altcoin bags go. I have zero exposure to Bitcoin at this current moment in time. I've been very transparent about that. I'm not sitting here for 2x gains on Bitcoin or 3x gains. I'm here for the 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100x gains that altcoins could provide us. But like I said, the higher that Bitcoin goes, the better for altcoins it is. We could still see that, next level tapped on Bitcoin. On the daily, that would be the 200 EMA down there at about roughly $50,000. The reason why I don't think that we retest that, 200 daily EMA is because we avoided it for a very long time back in 2020 into 2021 before we ultimately, went right below it actually and crashed below it back in May of 2021, and we ranged until we regained the trend. But that's why I don't think that we get to retest that level just yet. I think that we will actually continue to rally here once we regain the trend, but we still need to regain the trend. That's the big thing. The trend is your friend, not your enemy. Don't fight the trend. But when we look at Bitcoin, the main thing that I'm also looking at, and like I said, I know that this is an XRP video. I know that we're going to be talking about XRP. The thing that I'm looking at with Bitcoin is specifically dominance, right? We're still watching this have a nice move in the market. It's actually having a bounce off of that resistance zone that has turned into support. And the reason why we're looking at this is because if we are about to have a big altcoin rally, if altcoins are about to go crazy, which I do believe that they are going to, but we need to range a little bit more while Bitcoin dominance, continues to rally a little bit or possibly makes the next leg down. Because if this is going to reject right before we get to that level up here, so anywhere within this, right, it's going to top somewhere within this and make a lower high, which is bearish, then that's going to be very, very good for altcoins because then we'll ultimately lose this level of support and continue lower, which would be very bullish for altcoins while Bitcoin possibly takes the next leg up or ranges at a significant level above like $74,000 for an example. But, mainly the thing is that we're watching for Bitcoin dominance to top while altcoins, specifically like XRP dominance, for an example, range, gain momentum, and then push to the upside. The thing that's very exciting about XRP is where we are at right now in terms of the XRP dominance chart. Everyone's making fun of XRP right now because, oh, XRP's under 50 cents again. XRP's doing this, XRP's doing nothing. And it's so funny because, I look at this space and I've always said it multiple times. If you look at the top winners and the top losers in the top 100, XRP is doing better than majority of the top 100. So it makes zero sense on why we have so much bickering around XRP being like this terrible coin. I mean, when you look at the top 500, look at the top 500 losers. Guys, XRP is doing just fine. I get it, right? We had a major sell off. Yes, XRP is still under 50 cents. It sucks, but hey, that's what the market does. That's also why I always say if you're not prepared for the volatility on the downside, you're not prepared for the volatility on the upside. But when we look at XRP dominance, right, everyone's getting bearish down here. You don't want to get bearish down here. You can get bearish all the way up here when we're starting to range at like 4+% into the 6% range. But down here, this is when you really want to focus up. This is when, altcoins will start to wake up in a very large way. That's why I'm focused on this heavily. I do think that the altcoin market right now, I think that this is going to be the largest alt season in crypto history. It's going to be the last alt season that's not regulated. So this is a time where you're not gonna, you don't want to mess this up. You don't want to be focused on the wrong things. That's why when we start to see all this uncertainty, all this panic around the space, I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, this is happening during one of the most historical bull runs in crypto history because it's going to be the last major one. It's the one where institutions are actually here. And you're going to start to see a lot of manipulation of the markets. You're going to see the mainstream media manipulating you. You're going to see these, bearish headlines. You're going to see X and, just the retail markets get extremely bearish. Again, focus on the big picture on where we are at right now. We are roughly 48 hours away from the Bitcoin halving. This is an event that typically after the fact, altcoins go on a major run. Please, if there's one thing that you guys can do, don't panic, remain calm, remain patient. You don't have to do anything right now. Don't act impulsively. Don't make irrational decisions based on emotions. The charts are telling us everything that we need to know right now. The big thing is that we're trying to flip resistance right now on Bitcoin while we are still in a level of support. So far, it has held. We need to be, focused on this. The weekly candle close is coming up, especially even for Bitcoin dominance, for an example. This is what the weekly candle close looks like so far. I would not be surprised. I'm telling you guys this right now. I would not be surprised if this continues to break out to roughly 57% to possibly 60%. And anywhere within this range is where we really kind of look for that downtrend to start on Bitcoin dominance, while altcoins like XRP have this big move to the upside where they continue to rally. And that's when we really look for all-time highs and the big moves in the market to really kind of begin. Again, don't complicate things, guys. It's a very simple outlook right now. The only thing that you need to pay attention to is the money flow in crypto. Everyone's worried about their altcoins and how they're performing. Alt season hasn't even started yet. Bitcoin did not fully top out yet. Bitcoin dominance has not topped out yet. Pay attention to what matters. Study the money flow. Study the cyclical flow of the market and how things typically go, the patterns in the past, how they play out, because that's the best way to learn when your altcoin is going to move. And that's the best way to remain calm when your altcoin isn't moving either. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, I hope that you are all having a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are out there in the world. This has been Nick. Peace out.